Episode 2 starts off, with the normal opening and stuff, and then we see a kind of, I guess it's like a flashback scene with Google goggles, and and it starts playing
his girl.
Yep, starts playing this awesome, just metal score. This 80s synth metal, like hair metal stuff, driving, and I'm like, oh god, this score is so freaking good.
Yep.
And so this first scene is really like setting up and
reintroducing our characters. Basically, it seems like
also the plot, and how the mechanics of the things around their neck work. Because it starts off with this guy like with the Mohawk guy, like, hey, like I hired you to like get this thing off of our necks. And if you can do it, you get paid and all that stuff.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And he fails, and it blows his head off.
Yeah, basically.
And that's the end of him. And it tells the viewer, and tells that hey, they're not going to get their collars off. But it's nice that they actually took the time to talk about this in the story, because it really needed a little bit of addressing after the first episode.
Yeah, because they sort of bring up the collars at the beginning of the first episode, but they never truly really touch on the aspect of the collars themselves.
Yeah. So basically what this thing is supposed to say is it's impenetrable, like you can't stop it. It's just always going to work no matter what. And then we cut to a scene where we get introduced to the main villain. And by the way, this episode is called Psychic Trooper. Which is very reminiscent of Yes's Starship Trooper.
And the robot looks a lot like something from Starship Troopers.
Yeah. And the so basically there's this psychic android robot thing, and he basically just disintegrates this dude, and that's like our first introduction, like, oh wow. And I think later on in the next episode they kind of go back into the psychic thing, but it's a little different. Of course, we'll talk about that in part 3. And then after that, well, first of all, let's talk about the psychic android thing. What do you think about this being the main villain?
So I honestly felt like that was the weakest part of the episode, was the psychic robot. Like, I mean, the fight between Gogol and the robot was really cool, but I felt like it just didn't have any like weight to it, because Gogol was pretty much the only one in that episode for most of the time.
I think that
he doesn't
continue.
Doesn't he not interact much with the other two characters?
This episode is pretty much all him and Sarah. Yeah.
Which a lot of people say that the second episode is the weakest of the 3.
I agree.
But it's still a fun episode though. So we get to see a guy fight a robot.
Yeah.
A big robot.
I think what would have made this episode way better is, since this is kind of like a reference to Terminator, this whole thing, is if they took a page out of the Terminator's book and made the psychic robot guy not only a little bit cooler in design, he was a little lanky. Yeah. He wasn't. You couldn't really see him anyways because the anime is so damn dark. But if they did something where they focused on the horror aspect of this robot android, of this hulking creature that does not stop and will not stop.
Because if I remember correctly, wasn't there a guy in the robot itself?
Yes, just like his torso.
Yes, that's what it was.
And like he had these weird, like, weak-looking legs and arms. And I guess the point is he's not. The robot doesn't use his arms or legs because he has these powerful psychic abilities. But
they use like almost like sound waves
So, something, yeah, something like that. Because in the middle of the episode, when Sarah drives the truck head on, which is like one of the dumbest things.
Oh yeah.
It like it seems like it was like sound waves or something like that, or
Yeah, I would never drive a truck at a robot.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, especially one that's psychic powers. What the hell?
Yeah, I know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Yeah. We see this before we get to like I guess the good part, which is like the middle part.
Yeah.
Sengoku goes diving and he can't get into where he's going. And then Benton follows Sengoku or something. I don't know what this scene was for.
Yeah, I don't know what that scene was for as well. It just kind of felt really tacked on.
Yeah, it didn't really have much in regards to the overall plot.
Yeah. I felt like the pacing in this episode was very all around the place at some points when it wasn't focused on Gogol and him trying to take out the Terminator psychic robot.
Yeah, the best part, I mean, was this next part, which is, so this girl shows up and she stole a bunch of this military information about this thing called Moklos or something like that, and it's the psychic robot, and and apparently it's very abrupt, but it is an OVA. Like, give it some leeway.
The endings for these are very abrupt, and you don't really necessarily always get a full closure to the story.
I think you're supposed to watch this as like a movie.
Yeah.
I think it works better that way. But so yeah, this girl hacked into this military system, stole a bunch of information. Turns out that Mohawk guy and Red Pants girl, they had a thing. They weren't exactly in a relationship, but it's obvious that there's like a flame there, you know?
Yeah.
And she wishes that, you know, she could go back to those times. And he's like, oh, okay, babe, gotcha, word. He's just going along with it. And it turns out that, Red Pants Girl kind of works for the bad guy, but not really. And she has to kill him because... Just because.
Reasons. Reasons.
And so he's like, we can make this right. We don't have to do this. Like, you don't have to do this. We'll find a way, kind of thing. To which I'm like the whole time like, oh, and before this, by the way, the cops come and they use smoke to they like you can drive through smoke. They didn't drive through the smoke. They just stopped.
The cops in this show are so stupid.
Oh no, it's smoke. We don't know what's behind that smoke.
Yeah,
Sir, we literally just saw behind that smoke. It is a bridge. We can't risk it. We don't know what's across that smoke. It could be space. It could be a volcano. It could be a dinosaur. Dinosaurs, they were extinct billions of years ago. What are you talking about? Do as I say. Stop the vehicle.
If this episode had dinosaurs, that would be awesome.
Cyber dinosaurs. They had cyber panthers. Third episode.
They were cyber saber-tooth tigers.
Too good. So yeah. So. Okay. So no, I missed one thing actually. So Red Pants, so they're still on the run after they drop the smoke. The helicopter comes, and the helicopter is like, kill the girl, and then they're like firing just like hundreds of rounds at this girl, missing.
Oh yeah.
Missing not only her but the truck.
Terrible shots. And they have like Gatling guns.
Yeah, and she like with her little handgun shoots
Takes
one
out
time
the helicopter
with one bullet.
She's a really good shot.
With the first shot. She's like a marksman. Jeez. And then after that, they do the conversation where she's like, "I wish it was not this way. I love you." And
yeah.
And so the psychic robot guy shows up, and she's like, "There's only one thing that I can do in this moment. I'm gonna kill this psychic robot that's almost indestructible by driving straight at it
with my truck."
Not even hit her truck. It's the dude's truck.
She steals it.
It's like a mobile library too.
Yeah.
It's just what's in the truck is just like books. And God, she ruins this guy's home. Granted, he is a cyber criminal, but
that's true.
But she just drives straight at it, and like, oh my God, it's so funny. She's driving at it. She starts shooting while driving at it. I'm like, okay, how are you doing this? First of all, how are you still driving and shooting while standing up, like completely?
Oh yeah, she was standing up, wasn't she?
Yeah. And she's just like firing at it just randomly. Like, how do you go from like one shot to like missing every single one of them? And the robot just hilariously puts its arm up, grapples onto the beam above it, and then just zip lines up. And then she goes, and then she somehow drives straight. Like, she doesn't turn. She just keeps driving straight, and then drives into the ocean, where she drowns.
Yes, she kills herself.
But it doesn't make sense. She was standing up before. She could have moved, but she got stuck.
It's that whole Titanic thing about not getting on the door. Even though there's enough space to get out, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? I've peaked here. I've done one of the stupidest things ever. I somehow drove straight into the water, even though this is a straight bridge, and the thing grappled, and I didn't obviously see that.
That whole part does not help Kogel like whatsoever.
Yeah,
it just makes his job even harder to do.
Not only that, but now he has to get revenge for her. It's just more things for him to do.
But who do you get revenge on? Do you get revenge on the truck, the water that killed her, or the robot?
To be fair, she started it first.
This episode was just ridiculous. And we're not even done. We still have one more to go.
The police are coming. Oh God.
Oh no.
I don't even like. She's so dumb.
Yes, she added honestly nothing to the story. You could have taken her out and the story would have been the same.
Yeah, probably. He could have drove the truck. And then he could have just escaped. Yeah. And he could have been like, I'm so stupid. I should have looked.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have drove that truck. And now my library is in the water. God damn it. My books are ruined. For a cyber criminal, he's very tame.
Yeah, he is. He's the tamer of the first, then Goku. Goku is very hot-blooded, and he's like, just go with it,
Then, so we go to, I guess, like the big fight part, kind of.
Yeah.
Where Sengoku and Benton create a little bit of a distraction. Mohawk guy gets in a helicopter and grinds the psychic robot to like in half, which is just the coolest. Like,
doesn't he do it with the helicopter?
Yeah. He took the helicopter, drove in, like the robot jumped onto the helicopter. And so he saw like the tower thing, and he's like, what better way to do this than to just fly straight into that thing.
Yes, that's right. He drives the helicopter into the tower, and then the blades like cut up the robot.
No, he drives
right?
up the beam. Like he slides the robot up the beam with the inertia of the helicopter going up, and then it crashes into the thing.
That's what happens. Yes.
Yeah, and then what? There's a one-liner where I don't know who says it. I can't remember. They say, "Hi, need a lift there?" Oh no, it's Sengoku, but he says it in a southern accent. He's like, "Hi, need a lift there?"
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? This is awesome. So Mohawk guy picks up a beam, and he's like dragging it, and it's making a really annoying noise, both for the robot and for the viewer. And he hits it across the robot, and the robot is like, "Oh no, it's noise!" And
the robot's weakness is noise.
Yeah, not definitely not a truck.
No, but a beam.
Yeah,
just a beam.
Just a beam, but not a truck.
Yeah. No.
My love for you is like
maybe it was the vibration of the beam that affected the robot.
It seems like it was, and the noise as well. And so he asks the neck thing to like, "Hey, record that noise," and then
and he plays
blast
the back
it out of these really small neck speakers that apparently is in the. So that's the weakness. The robot dies, and then the human guy, So Mohawk guy takes the arm from the psychic robot guy, throws it at the dude who created the psychic robot guy, and punctures his throat with it. And it's like, this is fucking cool. This whole fight was cool. It was just crazy, nonsensical. It was great.
Yeah, there were parts that you could have taken out of it. If it was just one long fight, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's just, what would have been cool is if it was like Aliens, but with a Terminator, where it's just, he's trying to like survive, and his girlfriend doesn't show up.
Yeah,
preferably that like nail that.
Yeah,
one.
you could have taken the girl out of the situation and still had him fight the psychic robot, and everything would be cool. It just, there were some unnecessary elements to this story that could have been avoided, and it could have been a really good episode. But it was just an above average episode.
Yeah, it's okay. Definitely the first and this next episode we're about to talk about is way better. It's okay. I feel like the girl thing, the reason they added the girl is because it was the 80s and 90s. You gotta have the romance. Even though she had a really bad voice actress who had like a Brooklyn accent. Hey, I'm talking over here. I'm trying to drive a truck into a robot over here. And failing miserably. This episode, it's okay. I think it fails overall just for the simple fact that it just felt like it was just hampered down by the girl, really. I mean... Yeah. And I found the middle part entertaining. Highly entertaining.
Yeah, the middle part was entertaining, but you come off of this high from the first episode, which leads into this, and then leads out of and goes into the third episode, which is like, it's kind of like the middle part of the story, which is just a little dip in quality, but then goes back up towards the end.
I think if you're watching this as an hour and a half movie or 2 hours, it's probably 2 hours.
It's the runtime is 149 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's long. So I mean, if you're probably watching it as one whole piece rather than episodes, you'll be fine. I think. It'll just be a slow middle part.
Yeah, you could also break it up. I mean, it's all in one DVD. It's like not hard to find. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Where can they
Yeah.
find you?
You can find me at OtakuMike or on Twitter, Anime Mike. I believe it's 1986. If you want to do that, just hit me up. I'm not that hard to find.
Yeah, not only that, but you're probably. I mean, didn't you just hit 500 subscribers?
Yeah, I just hit 500 subscribers, and currently, I am doing 2 giveaways. They might or might not end before this is up, but I got sponsored by RightStuff.com and the USA Gundam store to do 2 giveaways.
By the time this comes out, my giveaway will be live. I was contacted by High Dive to give away a $150 box set for Parasite the Maxim. It's limited edition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so go watch the giveaway, that video, all the details to win that thing. It's awesome. I'm looking at it now. It's beautiful. Also, this is, if you're watching this on YouTube in 3 parts, you could have watched this in 1 whole part if you were a Patreon on the $1 tier or above. All the tiers, there's only 2 tiers, $1 and $5 tier. $1 tier and $5 tier are the exact same things. You get access to everything, a bunch of ad-free stuff, a bunch of stuff for early, and stuff like this. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter, OVAwful, OVAwesome, a bunch of my older videos when I was a gaming channel back in the day. So consider that if you haven't already. Thanks everybody for watching. See you on the next OVAwful.
See ya.